Howdy, old folks. Oh! Welcome back to the Brinx Hearse podcast. My name is Ryan McNeil.
Michael Frieri.
And Mikey, what are we talking about today?
Wrestling.
We're talking about wrestling. We're in a hurry to talk about wrestling.
Oh my God. Adrenaline is pumping right now, folks.
It is pumping, baby. Ugh. Now, Mikey, right now, wrestling is as big as it has been in probably 20 years.
I agree.
Yes. Roman Reigns has been the champ for 3 years or something. Mm-hmm. That has created the biggest storyline, maybe one of the company's biggest storylines in their history with the Bloodline. And I think they are at...
I'm a little tired.
That run took a little bit out of me, too. And I think they are at, I'm going to use a fancy term, a fulcrum point.
Ooh.
That means a very crucial moment.
Is that in your notes?
That is fulcrum point. A very crucial point where me and you are, we say casual fans.
Yeah.
And they've got us hooked. Like, we're following it pretty damn closely right now.
I have to say, this is the first time in forever since I watched Raw and SmackDown episodes each week.
Even when I was growing up and I casually followed, I was never this into it as I am right now. So I think they know they got to give the people what they want. Because quite frankly, if Cody Rhodes loses at Mania, I'm out, dude. If I got to deal with another year of Roman as champion, and I think the storyline's great, but it's just time. It's fucking time.
You got to know when to ride the wave.
Yes. So I think they have to know that for people like us, don't make us temporary fans. Give us what we want, and then we're going to stay invested.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes has the belt. Who's he going to fight next? Is he going to fight Seth? Seth going to turn on him the next night at Monday Night Raw? Is he going to fight Punk when Punk comes back? What's going on here? LA Knight? What's going to happen?
I think it just sets the tone with whatever decision they go with in WrestleMania, that either they're doing what they're here to do what the fans want, and then I'll stay, or they're just doing whatever they want. And it's why?
Yeah.
Why? You know?
And they always do it for the sake of long-term storytelling, but it feels like they never get to what we actually want though sometimes. Because that was when LA Knight didn't get he was almost had the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Why?
Fans were chanting oh my God, this is perfect. LA Knight is the Money in the Bank. This is perfect. And then he didn't win it. And people say for long-term storytelling, you don't give a guy who got that hot that quickly the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's but that's what the people want, and you have to give LA Knight his flowers at some point.
Yeah.
And the alternative is you gave it to Damian Priest, who no one gives a shit about.
And LA Knight is just kind of just fallen to the wayside a little bit.
Yeah, he's not even going to be any kind of a title match at Mania.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating. But let's talk about the main thing at Mania. Or actually, let's do the other matches first, and then we'll get to the two main events.
So
LA Knight is fighting AJ Styles.
That's a prediction, or it's happening?
It looks pretty much happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
going to be a good match. The two good wrestlers. But again...
inconsequential.
Yeah.
To both of their characters.
Yeah, that's the thing. It feels like LA Knight is having such an ascension, it feels like he should be up for the IC or the US title.
Yeah, I have to say, we haven't gotten to the IC conversation yet, but he would have been a good contender.
He would have been a great contender for the IC.
Yeah.
Because, a guy like AJ Styles, some of those older guys, their character existing, that's, enough. They're there. If you put them against another older guy, people are going to be invested just because of their history. They're older guys. They're both good wrestlers. But LA Knight's so fresh and new, for him to be in an inconsequential match seems kind of strange.
Right. And just the fact that both guys have, kind of already had their beef.
Yeah.
With the Fatal 4-Way at the Rumble, it was kind of why are we doing this again?
Yeah. And I really a good match, but it's just, it doesn't grab you like it should with either of these guys.
And every, there always has to be, your mid-card, just hype-up fights.
Yeah.
So, LA Knight is the best hype-up there is right now.
Yes, he is.
But I really thought he was going to be in a bigger role coming WrestleMania. I thought it was for Elimination Chamber. I thought it was no-brainer either LA Knight or Randy.
Yeah.
And it was neither of them. So what's going to happen with Randy? LA Knight looks like he's just doing this.
Yeah. It appears Randy's fighting Logan Paul.
Oh, yes. You're right.
Which, again, is just kind of a whatever feeling.
Randy for the U.S. title, he's on to bigger.
He's kind of beyond that, yeah. A guy like Randy Orton or AJ Styles, guys who have been around so long, have been at the top, been the champ, it either makes sense for them to go after the main title again or just do personal beef with guys.
Yeah.
If it was Randy Orton and AJ Styles, that'd be a little more interesting. Two older guys who have been around forever. But Randy Orton is when Cena got the U.S. title in 2015 or something like that.
Yeah.
It just feels it just feels not pointless, but kind of a strange decision.
Yeah.
But
I think
everyone's just happy Randy's
I would
back.
say Logan Paul is actually a perfect holder of the U.S. title just for who he is in the company right now.
Yeah, not bad.
I don't think Randy's that guy yet anymore.
Yeah, it would. If Randy has a U.S. title reign, like what does that even look like? Like I don't know.
I got the U.S. title, but
yeah, I've won the big one like 14 times.
yeah. Can we also say our predictions for each match winner?
Oh yeah.
I think Knight takes us.
I want to say that, but they like screwing him over,
That's
so maybe I
very
should
true.
take Styles.
Yeah.
I think Logan Paul will win. I don't know why I don't see.
I think Randy would take it.
I'd like to see Randy take it just because him coming back, that'd be really cool for him to get a
I
belt
think that's
right
why
away.
it's like he's back. Like we got to use this time. Although like for some reason my thought process is so different from WWE. So Logan Paul looks like he's gonna take it, but Logan Paul beating Randy Orton, and Randy Orton's like, even though he's the oldest he's ever been, obviously.
Yeah.
He's in his
still
prime.
He came back. He's a house now, in the best way possible.
Like
he's
he
yoked.
Can fuck up Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, I think maybe just because this is like Randy's like first like really really big match since coming back, they might have Logan win and then just parlay it into Randy beats him at SummerSlam or something like that.
See, okay, this is another like issue with WrestleMania because they use WrestleMania should be the capstone of each story, but then they kind of like use it to engine stories into like SummerSlam.
Yeah,
it's like a weird dynamic.
I can understand that. That is frustrating sometimes where there isn't as much finality to it as there should be, and it doesn't like every single feud has to end, but something significant has to happen.
Yeah,
like I think a perfect example was last year when Roman Reigns fought Kevin Owens, and like Roman Reigns was going to win. Kevin Owens wasn't going to take the belt off Roman at WrestleMania, but it led to Sami Zayn turning and like starting to break up the bloodline. So like something significant happened there. Like you have to have something really significant happen, not just say like, oh, this guy beat this guy, and then they're going to fight again at SummerSlam, and then they're going to fight 3 times at Raw in between SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So it just takes some of the novelty away if it's that kind of scenario. But I think Randy Logan Paul, like that's not a bad feud though.
No, I like it. I think Logan Paul is kind of like this rambunctious like personality guy, and Randy's kind of like he'll kind of be like in this relationship kind of like let's slow your roll. Like I'm top
he's like
dog.
He's like the wise old man now.
Yeah,
where he was once more like Logan Paul, like the out of control kid.
Right.
But and then there's Jimmy and Jey Uso.
Yes, I think I like where the story is right now. I think it's cool.
I think they've done this quite well, and they're both obviously good wrestlers. There might be some interference, someone on the side, and obviously more bloodline implications.
I think it should be a clean match between the two of them. I don't think there's a reason for an interference.
I would prefer that, but the problem is Solo Sikoa, I think, gets paid by the interference. I don't know if I've seen him actually wrestle, so...
That's a good point. I really haven't seen him do anything that interfere.
I don't think I've heard him speak.
No, me neither. You just kind of...
He's just there.
Or just... You don't need to take off the hood, Solo.
No one's even looking
know.
at you,
We
dude.
know it's you.
It's not.
We know it's you,
not
bro.
No one was like, "Holy shit, it's Solo Sikoa."
It was cool when Jimmy interfered with Jay's match against. I don't think it was the Gunther match. Whoever he fought.
Yeah,
last.
I know the one you're thinking of. Yeah.
And then he took off the hood and the mask. It was like, oh, it's Jimmy. Like, okay, this is setting up something really cool.
Yeah.
Here.
There was going to be a. I did not know this. Apparently, the tag belt's going to be on the line.
Oh yes, this was just announced.
It will be 6 teams tag 12 match. That's 12 guys.
I don't know. I don't like this.
That's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have 6. I don't know if they've ever had 6 good tag teams at the same time.
Who other than?
I don't know any tag teams right now.
Okay. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I literally could not tell you who's going to be in this match.
So I think it's a no-brainer that it'll be the Judgment Day taking this back.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, which I don't hate. I don't hate the Judgment Day. I'd rather see them than like them try to build up, like God knows who.
Yeah.
But because I don't mind people like building up and like surprising losses, but at Mania, like it can easily get botched. I feel.
I don't remember when these guys even took the title.
Judgment Day?
Yeah.
Neither do I.
I thought it was like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking them off the Usos. Am I wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I also forget when it went away.
I don't know. It just ended up in the Judgment Day, and I really don't remember how it got there.
Yeah. Gunther and Sami Zayn for the IC. This is spicy.
I like that.
This is
I like
really
that
spicy.
a lot.
Those are two really good wrestlers who do very different things. And I mean, for a belt, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
This is going to be an awesome match.
Yeah, I think Sami Zayn was the right guy.
Yeah,
because it was kind of like a bouncing around question of who's going to be going up for the IC. IC's like, would you consider the third highest?
I would. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think Sami Zayn was the right guy. He's a big enough star right now.
Yeah.
From everything from the bloodline, and I think Gunther's obviously big for his history books. But I think Gunther. I think Gunther's going to win this.
Okay.
But I think he's going to say, I'm done. I'm going on to better things. I'm going after the heavyweight.
His character would just say that.
Yeah. I don't think he would lose and say, I'm going to better things. Because I think it's time he moves up. I think he has enough traction.
Well, you told me this. Tell me your problem with like them being like, he has the longest IC reign of all time.
Oh, yeah. It's just the fact that it's the IC. Like, who cares?
And it's historically been like a stepping stone.
Yes.
Like the guy who wins the IC is usually like, oh, that might be like the next guy.
Mm-hmm.
And Gunther's had it for like a year or something.
Yeah, it's not like a holding title,
Yeah. But that might be the most predictable match in the sense of we all know it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like no one is worried about the quality of that match.
Yeah, I can see it going to Sami Zayn, like the title ending up in Sami Zayn's hands somehow, but not at this match.
Yes, that's fair. Yeah, and I think that's a good like peak for him. Like I think Sami Zayn is Intercontinental title guy. I don't think he's anything bigger than that. Quite frankly, I love him and he's a great wrestler, but I think IC title, if he can get that, like that's a good plateau, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
But they're fighting Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. These are probably the two top female wrestlers in it right now.
I don't know where I'm going to go with this one.
I think Rhea's reign continues because I think I think they like it a lot. I think
like
Rhea
it
Ripley
too.
is so over right now that they're not going to mess with it yet. And I think Becky Lynch has been around a little longer, and then again, like SummerSlam, maybe even next Mania, and Rhea Ripley is the most interesting person in the Judgment Day, so I think they know like keep her with the belt makes the most sense right now before they break that up, which I bet they will within the next year.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I think it's a good pick.
Yeah, and then Rollins and McIntyre for the World Heavyweight.
I don't like McIntyre here at all.
Like as a wrestler, or you don't want him winning?
I don't want him winning.
Okay. I don't want him winning
I also
either.
don't think this is the stage for him. I know they built him up so much that it's
That's
like
the thing.
about time, but
I think he had the belt before Roman, so it feels like he's bigger than. Like the company almost kind of outgrew him, if that makes sense.
in a good way or a bad way for him?
In a good way. Like the company became bigger than like Drew McIntyre's your champion.
Okay.
That seems like you're kind of a lower level, but like Drew McIntyre should be like IC or world heavyweight. I could see him being a world heavyweight guy, but I don't. First of all, the problem is Seth Rollins is maybe the most likable wrestler.
Yeah, he
and
really is.
I mean, I would take 3 hours of Rollins on Raw and SmackDown if I could.
I think that Rollins should be your face. I don't think it should be Roman or Cody.
I think
Rollins is one of the faces, but I think he should be
is
the face.
I think with Cody in this, when Cody came back, it started this storyline of all this stuff. So I understand it being this face right now. What I think is going to happen, not without getting too much into the two main events, I think Cody will win, and then Seth's going to turn on him because they were going to set that up for them to be feuding, as they did they fought at Mania last year, the year before. Mm-hmm. So I think Rollins will then become the top heel in the company, but heel Rollins and face Rollins are the same thing, basically.
It really is.
Yeah,
actually. He's just too likable to really be a heel,
which is the sign of a great wrestler. Which is similar to when The Rock turns heel.
Yeah.
Like people are still so excited to see him, and people still cheer for him, and he still makes them laugh. That it's not like a heel you can really even boo.
Yeah.
So I do also hope Rollins retains. I like McIntyre. I said this complaint to you, and I'll say it here, where McIntyre's one of those guys who it's annoying because their gimmick is just, I'm a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
Him, Gunther, excuse me. Like basically Cody Rhodes too.
I like Gunther's gimmick.
Gunther is like...
It's like a step up of I'm a really
stuff.
good wrestler.
Yeah, it's done the best, I guess, yeah. And I think he's better on the mic, probably.
Yeah, I love Gunther. I don't like Cody Rhodes' character. I don't think... Or not Cody Rhodes. Drew McIntyre. Yeah, it's just a little. I don't know. I don't like this like artificial kind of. I don't know. I just don't think he's like. This is the right spot for him.
It's one of those things where like it feels like he has like all the tools, but like it just doesn't all come together.
Yeah,
there's just something off.
He's not the like. I think the biggest driving force between, getting good spots in the company is your personality. I don't think he has it at all.
Yeah, he doesn't have the pop that, like personality, like pop and on the mic skills that you even get from. I think I'll say the bloodline as a whole, not specifically Roman Reigns, but Roman with the Usos and with Paul Heyman especially. It takes him above that level, and Rollins is especially above that level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want Seth to drop the world heavyweight because I think it knocks him down a peg, especially if he just, like, he got hurt. He's going to be, I don't know. He said he medically cleared for this match. So I just hope he doesn't fuck up, like, right away.
Who?
Like Seth Rollins.
Oh, fuck up how?
Like, get hurt again right away.
Oh, okay.
But, I don't know. I think Rollins is going to win because I think they're going to parlay this into when CM Punk comes back, and Punk is going to fight Rollins.
Yeah.
As well. That's on the table.
Yeah.
So I think Rollins is going to hold the title because I think we're going to get a Rollins versus Cody or Rollins versus Punk.
Well, yes, I think because we're never going to get confirmation on it, but I think it was Punk versus Rollins from the get-go until the Rumble where he gets hurt. I thought that was kind of. Obviously they had Cody win the Rumble, but I thought Punk was going to win Chamber.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was just like kind of a no-brainer, and then I could see Rollins just holding out, for another year, because I don't think with the big Roman Reigns reign, no pun intended, not really a pun, but you get what the Roman Reigns reign. I don't think the heavyweight, because the heavyweight title was just reintroduced. I don't think there's going to be a big reign.
Yeah.
So I think a year is about as long as they'll take it.
I think so too. And one of the good things is with how long Roman's reign has been is that they can have other guys hold titles for like 8 months, 9 months, and it will still seem short compared to how Roman's has been. So it'll still feel refreshing too. It makes a title change seem much more of an epic event on every level, which is one good thing. The downside is that Roman's reign has lasted way too long in our opinion. Maybe not way too long, but it's time.
Since I got back to watching it, I haven't seen a single title change.
I don't know.
Because like I said, the Judgment Day kind of just sprouted with a new title.
Yeah, basically. They spawned with a new title. But let's parlay this into our analysis of the Night 1 and Night 2 dynamics.
Okay.
So Night 1, we're getting a tag match, Rock and Roman.
Sounds amazing.
Versus Cody and Seth.
Oh, sounds so cool.
If Rock and Roman win, it's bloodline rules, whatever that means.
I guess like they can, because like
they can just win the match basically.
Yeah, the Bloodline's whole gimmick is that they interfere and keep Roman on top and stuff like that.
So
I guess that's
but
what
if
gonna be.
Cody and Seth win, then free of the Bloodline. Then it's just a ref and Roman and Cody just fight straight up.
Yeah.
First of all, how do you like this setup?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Because also it keeps both nights super exciting. Where it's like night one, it's not even just like kind of like something to munch on before night 2 with the big stuff comes, where it like holds so much more weight. I think it's a really cool way to mix in all this. And let's be honest, this whole Roman Rock Cody thing, it was a mishap. How everything unfolded.
Without a
I
doubt.
think this is a good way to like kind of put a bandage on there.
Yeah.
I am very excited. This is probably what I'm excited the most for.
Yeah, and I'm happy they're doing it night 1 and doing it like this because a lot of times like there aren't 2 matches that are worthy of like main eventing a WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times night 1 will be like, okay, like it's fine. Yeah. But at the most it's going to be like the alternative would have been Rollins and McIntyre, which like would have been a good match, but the last match on a WrestleMania night it's a little anticlimactic. What I like a lot is Roman like basically never defends this title, so it's good that they're like, hey, wrestle twice in 2 days.
Yeah,
like actually get him out there. But what do you think is going to happen now? Because I'm still not positive.
I think Rock and Roman are going to win.
Okay,
because I still think that Rock is gonna, and it's kind of like how they've been playing it, that Rock will turn on Roman
Yeah, that's very much on the table.
And this is how I told you how I think it's going to go. That yes, they switched. So Cody and Roman are fighting now, and Cody and The Rock are kind of on outs. But I think it's all a ploy. I think it's part of the plan now. Now the new plan.
Yes, the new plan B.
And they're going to win, or they're going to lose night one. So it's Bloodline rules, and then either whether Rock is guest referee but doesn't call it.
The Rock will be allowed to interfere.
He's impartial.
Yeah.
Or Solo tries to interfere, but Rock stops Solo.
Okay.
And I think that'll just be like a good medium for both of like the Cody and the Rock parties.
Yeah. I think salute. I think it makes sense to. That's the thing. It's like I feel if Rock is in a match, he's not going to come back for a match just to lose.
No.
That he's just so. It is going to be Bloodline rules, but that does leave the only option to be that The Rock turns on Roman there, which I don't love. Like he's just like, oh, I've been working with Cody this whole time. It makes him look a little too goody, and I know The Rock would love that he's like, oh, I was good the whole time. But what I would prefer is because Bloodline rules basically means there's no rules. Like it's basically a no DQ match. Is basically what I think what they're turning it into. What I would prefer is. So it's Bloodline rules, Cody's fighting Roman, but then they just have Rollins interfere, the same that Solo interferes, and then have, I would love it if Punk was there, too, to help Cody beat Rock in the title, just because of Punk and Rock's history. That would be awesome, with however much he's able to walk. I don't know. But I think we both agree it's imperative that Cody wins the belt.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because if he wins this, it spawns so many different possibilities. And if he loses, Cody has lost WrestleMania main events twice in a row now, it makes him look like a chump. Like, what would his future in the company even be? I don't know. And then it would take another 2 years probably of building up for somebody to beat Roman, which nobody wants to see right now. And, I mean, because that's they gave the briefcase to a guy who no one wants to see win the title, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
But Cody wins, and right there, you start a Rock-Roman feud. The Rock doesn't have to, turn and be like, oh, I'm good with Cody. But just have Roman lose. The Rock's ashamed of him. He rock bottoms him in the middle of the ring. You just start all your feuds for next WrestleMania right there. And everyone's already excited for him. They got a little bit of lightning in the bottle here. I really hope they don't lose it.
Yeah, I think if Rock doesn't turn on him straight away in the second match, it'll come with what you say, Roman losing and him being like, "Oh, you're not really the tribal chief," and then that could be just main event for WrestleMania Night 1 next year. Because I think after WrestleMania, Rock goes away for a bit.
Oh yeah, I think so too. And I think Roman should too. If he loses the belt, I think he should take 5-6 months off because I think when he comes back, he's going to get a huge pop. People are just going to be happy to see him.
Unless they're setting... Yes, good point. Unless they're setting up Rock Roman, I think Roman loses, he's moving on to Hollywood.
I could see Roman doing that, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope Seth doesn't, though, honestly.
It's tough because Seth is just so good.
He's so good.
He's such a
handsome.
personality.
I bet he can really act, too.
I really...
Yeah.
Because if Seth...
I just hope he's not one of those guys who's... I don't know if he is one of those guys, I guess I should say, who's in love with the business and can't do anything else but wrestle. I don't know, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Say, okay, now let me ask you a question because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
What do you think the plan is with the briefcase?
That's the thing, is Damian Priest has just zero momentum.
Yeah.
No one looks at Damian Priest. Even when he won it, no one's looking at Damian Priest like, oh my God, this guy could be our next champion. If he takes it off of Roman, people are going to be people.
You think
some
he's
people
cash in on the WWE Championship?
Probably not. Honestly.
I don't think it's going to be the WWE Championship.
Can he cash in on both? He can cash in on World Heavyweight.
I think he can cash in on any belt. Isn't that
okay.
Kind of how it is?
I would.
I could be mistaken.
If that's the case, I hope he cashes in on R-Truth's 24/7 title. Then.
I think that was vacant.
Yeah, I don't think it exists anymore, but. But no matter there's no one with a belt who it makes sense for him to cash in against. They're gonna have to just bite the bullet, eat the money, whatever term you want to use, and just have him cash in, lose in 2 seconds, and then be like, forget about it. So I think he should hold it as long as he can, just for relevancy's sake.
I
would start what I would do if I'm booking, if I'm Triple H, which me and him have a lot of similarities. I would have them. That's funny to you. I would have them keep telling him like, oh, the Judgment Day. Keep telling you got to cash in on this guy, cash in this guy. He's like stubborn. I'm not gonna cash in. I'm gonna wait. And then all of a sudden it's the week before Money in the Bank, and they're like, you got to cash in. And then he finally cashes in, he loses, and then they're all pissed off.
I was gonna say, doesn't he have to cash in like before the next Money in the Bank?
I would hope so.
Wait, what if
he has two?
What is the real rule of Money in the Bank? Because what can you cash in on? Because can he cash in?
I thought it was only like the top title, the WWE Championship.
I think it's anything really.
Really? Okay.
What if someone wins Money in the Bank and then he cashes in to get the next Money in the Bank and just like it rolls over?
Oh, like can you cash in the briefcase to get the briefcase?
Yeah. I feel like that'd be kind of
cool, I guess. But
here, let me look up the rules for the. I think it's any title. I feel like that would make
if a guy
cashed
cashed in for the U.S. title, that would be weird, though. I would prefer them to do that.
I think it's weird that they would give Damian Priest the keys to the.
I don't know, dude.
WWE Championship.
That's what they did.
Hold on.
I just know for a fact that I want LA Knight to have it next year. It just makes, if he doesn't have a title by then, if he's not IC, if he's not US, both of which he's perfect for, LA Knight should have the title by next year. I mean the briefcase by next year.
I think it is the championship belt because it says the winners could choose either brand's world championship.
Okay. Maybe that does mean he can also do world heavyweight, which
I guess
I also don't love.
The top championships on each brand. So like, what is Roman SmackDown?
Yeah,
and Seth is Raw. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't.
This is interesting.
There's no belt he's big enough for of either of those. I don't think he's even big enough for the IC, quite frankly. But that's the thing. They've put themselves in a corner by giving it to him. It's been the one flaw with how they've executed things over the last year, really. Other than that, they've been pretty flawless. But I don't know how they're going to... I think they should just use it as a tool to break up the Judgment Day or cause friction in the Judgment Day at the very least. Well, like I said, they're like cashing against this guy, and he's like, no, I'm going to wait till the time's right. And then when he finally cashes it in right before the pay-per-view, he loses, and they're like, you dumbass, why didn't you cash in against this guy when he had a broken leg, or R-Truth when he was half asleep or something? So I think that's the best way they can use the briefcase right now as a storytelling tool rather than just make someone, give someone a title shot or what have you.
30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah.
All right, yeah, that makes... I don't know, man. The Money in the Bank is such an interesting part of the WWE because it kind of like nullifies any beef that was built up to each championship.
That's fair, yeah.
I don't know.
I will say, whoever came out with the Money in the Bank briefcase, genius.
Yeah.
Absolute
it's
genius.
It's very interesting. Whoever... Yeah. Also, it's interesting you say that it's a way to like break up the Judgment Day because I think there was like a point in time where like it looked like they were going to have Priest break away.
Okay.
But I guess it's not the case anymore.
Because right now, I think they definitely have more heat together. Mm-hmm. But like, Rhea can definitely be on her own and be a superstar.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, Dominic, they work better as pieces of a group, in my opinion. Even though they're both good wrestlers, especially Finn Balor.
Finn Balor kind of works on his own.
I think him Priest and like his old gimmick and stuff. Yeah, I feel like he needs the Judgment Day more than anybody in that group.
Yeah.
Or else he just has to join, I don't know, he has to form a tag team with somebody or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a
messy situation with the briefcase.
Yeah.
Right now.
It is.
But do you have any other wishes for WrestleMania? WrestleMania 40, right? 40 in Philadelphia for some reason.
I don't have any wishes, but who do you think should be pushed more than what has been?
Who should be pushed more?
Yeah.
I would say LA Knight. I would say, I think we could, theoretically see LA Knight Gunther for the World Heavyweight. I think that something like that should be on the table. Because, let's say, a feud between I don't know, let's say Seth and Cody for the WWE title or something like that, or Punk are fighting over that. I think it would be I think those two guys are good enough to have a feud for a title of that size. Other than that, everybody kind of feels like they're in the right place. Like, I love Kevin Owens, I love Sami Zayn, but they're a nice high mid-carder.
Yeah.
Like, and they flirt with the idea of being at the very top, but they know where to keep them, basically. And they're both phenomenal wrestlers, so it's not there's not a real mistake going on with how they're handling them, I think. But I'll ask you, what do you think of the World Heavyweight title's design?
I love it.
You do? Okay.
I love it. I don't think there's a poorly designed title right now.
No, I really like.
I don't like the tag team.
No, they're kind of boring, aren't they?
Yeah.
I like the U.S. one now a lot more.
U.S.
than
one's
it used to
cool.
be.
U.S. one's cool. I think Intercontinental's cool.
Yes, I like the World Heavyweight. It's tough because I think the old World Heavyweight was maybe the best belt in all of wrestling.
Yes, it is the best belt.
That thing, it looked like so royal.
Yeah, why they took away, I don't. I'll never understand why they unified the two, but I think
to me, it's also weird that they continue to call Roman the undisputed champion when Seth now holds a title, which is, you could argue, is as equal to Roman's title.
Okay, I don't think it's actually played up to as equal right now.
I guess so.
It needs a little more run, but I also think that just because they're on two different brands, even though that's the heavyweight belt is the top of Raw, it's still clear that it's kind of just, well, let's have someone else hold something while Roman's just having fun.
Yeah, that's
with however many days.
Yeah.
So,
and let me ask you now, what do you think of heel Rock that we've been seeing?
I like it, but he ain't got it like he used to.
I think it's still very good.
There's bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah. I think it's still quite good, but there is still that strained relationship where the crowd is so thrilled to see him because it's The Rock in WWE, but he has to play a super villain a lot of the time. So sometimes it is kind of a stranger dynamic. But I will say, when the promo with all four of them, Seth getting in Rock's face, it was perfect. He called him Mr. Midlife Crisis and said, "You had your time, don't take ours." Perfect.
Yeah.
That is a fucking professional right there.
And then Roman started speaking.
And then Roman started. And it just
why
kills
is this guy,
all momentum.
Why is this guy on the doorstep of Hollywood right now?
I don't get it, dude. I think Roman is a good enough champion. I think the mechanism they built around him with Paul Heyman and the Usos and talking about the bloodline and his family history, it's been done well that he has had a reign that is this long.
Mm-hmm.
Him on his own is just a little bit boring. He's still a good wrestler. He's just not that exciting.
Yeah.
They've built him up to be an attraction, but him by himself, when he talks, it's very hit or miss.
I think that's probably part of the reason why they're so slow to have him lose the belt. One, he has the record ahead of him with Hulk Hogan with 1,400 or something like that.
Yeah.
But also, if he doesn't have the belt, there's really no reason for the bloodline to exist. And someone like him and Solo, what do they do without the bloodline?
I know. That's the thing. When he loses, they need to propel him into a feud with The Rock because that's the only place you can go after this reign to make it look like you're still not going up so much, but staying super relevant like you were. Mm-hmm. He can't lose and come back and be I'm challenging Logan Paul to the United States Championship. No. The bigger question is Solo. I don't know what the hell he's going to do. Because we said, he doesn't wrestle. He doesn't speak.
He's out of a job.
He's just out of a job at that point. Yeah. So I wish the best to Solo, and I hope we get to see him do something someday other than interfere.
Yeah. Any other remarks as we head into WrestleMania here?
I don't think so. I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Well.
It's worthy. This is a time where I think it's kind of worthy of two nights. It's worthy of the big arena that they put it in, and I'm very excited. And I hope it is in a lot of different ways a culmination of storylines that have been going on for a very long time now.
Now I know this is looking ahead.
Yes, I like to look ahead.
But when Cody takes the belt,
okay,
who? Oh, you're saying Seth would be the next guy to
Seth or Punk, I would say. Probably Seth though, because I think it would be very good for either Seth or Cody. At the end of that, they can have the WWE and the World Heavyweight. They can lift both of those belts up.
Okay.
And have one guy holding both of them. I think they would like to have that for a little bit. But I don't know if they will do that. But a guy like Cody, who has been built up into as good a face and as big a face as they have had since Prime Cena, basically, he has to fight a heavy hitter, and that's Punk and Rollins or Orton.
Oh,
that's about it, though. Orton would be cool. The more I think about
Yes,
it,
he
2
would.
legacy guys.
now I said this not too long ago about how I think the heavyweight title was just made so Roman can have fun with like just to go off on his own and just hold. When Roman loses, is there a purpose for a world heavyweight title? Is there a need for this like number 2 title?
You need to keep the talent in the company high.
Okay.
Because it works really well when you have 2 absolute superstars, like they did when they would have, like, Brock has this one and Stone Cold has that one, or Batista has this one and Orton has that one. If like Roman goes or Punk goes, if like Cody and Seth, okay, 2 guys getting a little older. Cody, I don't know if Cody's going to be around in 2 years. Who knows if Rollins going to be around in 2 years? If he goes fully Hollywood, who knows? Mm-hmm. So they would need to find substitutes quickly if they want to have 2 titles. If they don't have it, if they don't think they have it, which I trust Triple H to know, then yeah, I'm fine just unifying them and creating one brandy new title.
Okay. What would the merged WWE title with the merging once more with the World Heavyweight title look like?
I think it would look like those belts they had in SpongeBob, the Wumbo belts. It's W for Wumbo. I think that'd be good.
Okay.
One of those World Heavyweight belts.
Well, a lot on the horizon, but we
There's a lot
first
on the
have to look towards
to
the
immediate
Mania.
Mania, baby.
Yes, sir.
You texted me. You said it must be a bitch to hang up that massive WrestleMania sign in
Oh
every
my
arena
God.
they go to.
And it's not like just a banner. It's like this big like emblem.
Yes.
I want to know whose job that is.
Best of luck to all the crew guys who create that massive spectacle each and every week, twice a week. And we're going to be putting on Mania in Lincoln Financial Field. And I'd like to wish each and every one of you, what do we call our fans? BTNH Aniacs?
I guess so.
I guess so. I'd like to wish each and every one of them a Heidi. Ho!